Hi everyone, my name is Saniha and I am thrilled to welcome you to today's workshop from Idea to Impact AI and Startup Essentials for Young Innovators. If you're here, chances are you're building something exciting or at least thinking about it. Maybe you have a groundbreaking idea, maybe you're refining your MVP, or maybe you're just exploring what it means to be a startup founder in an AI-driven world. And no matter where you are in your journey, this session is designed to equip you with the practical tools and insights to turn your ideas into impactful, scalable solutions. This workshop is part of our continued mission at Grace, that is to create spaces where women in AI and tech don't just participate but lead. And today we're diving into exactly that. That is, how can AI help early stage founders build smarter, move faster, and scale efficiently? What are the biggest challenges startups face in product development, and how do we tackle them with AI driven solutions? Before we dive into today's topic, I want to take a moment to thank two incredible entrepreneurs, I'm so sorry, Emmy and Ira, for joining us today. They both bring valuable insights and experience from their work in AI and startups, and we're excited to have them as a part of this session. Emmy is a founder engaged in AI driven problem solving, and Ira has vast experience mentoring young founders in the startup space. Their journeys are powerful examples of the resilience and innovation that drive the startup ecosystem. And we're really honored to have them here, and we look forward to their continued impact in the world of AI and startups. A huge part of building a successful startup isn't just about the product. It's also about the people, the network, and the support systems you build along the way. That's why we're so excited to have founders with us today. Founded by students, Founders is an incubator that has built a powerful community of over 10,000 plus founders across Stanford, Harvard, MIT, and beyond. Through their Hatch Accelerator, they help startups build, scale, and pitch their products in just 6 weeks. And as part of this initiative, today's workshop is all about equipping you with the right mindset and the right tools, including one of the most powerful AI driven platforms for startup success, DevRev. Now, let's talk about DevRev a little bit. If you're a founder today, you know that building a product is one thing, but sustaining and scaling it is another. That's where DevRev comes in. So, DevRev is a conversational AI powered platform built for SaaS startups. It brings together customer support, product development, and growth teams, essentially replacing multiple tools and streamlining everything into one AI first ecosystem. So, here's what makes it unique. It reduces the complexity by integrating 9+ business apps into one. It's AI driven insights to speed up product iteration and decision making. It helps early stage startups scale without needing massive engineering or support teams. And was founded in 2020 by Dheeraj Pandey and Manoj Agarwal. And DevRev has already raised 100 million in funding from investors like Khosla Ventures and Mayfield, and was named on Forbes list of America's best startup employer. To show exactly how DevRev can help your startup from idea to execution, I'm excited to introduce Samhita. Samhita works as a product representative for startups at DevRev. She specializes in helping early stage companies streamline their operations. She works closely with founders to optimize product development, customer engagement, and AI driven workflows. So, today she's going to take us through a hands on demo of DevRev's capabilities, showing how it can help you accelerate your product roadmap with AI driven insights, manage customer relationships seamlessly, and leverage AI automation to grow efficiently within a small team. So, welcome, Sam, welcome, Emmy, welcome, Mira, and Samita. Can we let's just dive into the demo, please?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for the introduction, Saniha. Hi, everyone. It's super nice to meet all of you. Very excited for this session. So I'll just talk a little bit about myself. So I'm Sam, as you all know. And I've been part of DevRev for over a year now. It's been an excellent journey, like what Saniha mentioned, that we have been rated as the top startup employer by Forbes. I think that's a huge achievement. And I never look back after joining here. Right, DevRev as a solution is way ahead of its time, and I really love presenting what our platform has to offer. So really excited about this. So I know Saniha already gave a quick introduction about DevRev, but I'll just add on to mine because that's how I go about it. So DevRev is actually at the forefront of the SaaS 2.0 revolution. It offers a groundbreaking AI native platform that redefines your customer support and product development. So, unlike traditional systems that operate in silos, for example, let's take this, right? So, you have your customer support team who probably use Zendesk or Freshdesk to handle all the incoming customer queries from time to time. Your product development team might be using Jira to keep a track of all the progress that happens, right, in the execution of your product, the roadmap, etc. Then you have a part of your support team who probably uses a chatbot like Intercom or Fresh Chat, or any of the other chatbots that are available in the market. Apart from that, you also have your sales team using CRMs like Salesforce, or HubSpot, etc. So I just named 4 to 5 different applications that organizations typically use, which leads to a lot of data deduplication or silos. And imagine integrating all these platforms and having to connect them between multiple applications, toggling between screens. It's a I mean, for the lack of a better word, very painful process, right? DevRev essentially brings all of these applications together and combines it in one single platform, and all these products are offered out of the box within DevRev. So I'm not huge on giving theoretical definition. I always believe that people, if you see the product, you'll understand what I'm saying. So without further ado, I'll just quickly go ahead, share my screen, and show you what I am actually talking about. If you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to take it up over chat. Feel free to like stop me at any point in time. And yeah, so let's go ahead. I'll start sharing my screen. Just give me a second. I have multiple screen open, so just give me a quick minute to bring everything together. Yeah, there you go. So, guys, are you able to see my screen? Saniha, Ira, Emmy. Just wanted to confirm if my screen is visible.
It is visible, Sam.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Awesome. So you should be seeing something called as Maple software on your screen. So I'll start with a little story, right? So consider me to be a person called as Emma. I'm Emma right now, and I have my own small business. And it's a small business that caters to like I sell a lot of my homemade bakery stuff online, and Maple Software is one such platform which caters to payment transactions. It's a payment gateway software. Along with it, it also handles transactions in different currencies all across the globe, right? Off late, what's been happening is that I have been receiving a lot of failed transactions, especially which involve the euro currency. I'm extremely frustrated, super annoyed with the fact that I'm losing out on a lot of money. It's costing me my revenue and my sales are dropping, which is not the best experience. So I, being a frustrated customer, want to go get to the bottom of this. Hence I approach Maple Software to see what exactly is going wrong. Why are my transactions not being processed, right? So this is the website that we have created. Again, this is a fictitious instance that we have created so that we can demo on this particular platform. So before I move into my own dashboard portal, I just want to quickly show you what Maple Software does. On the right hand corner, you'll be able to see a bubble like widget over here, which is called as Plug. Plug stands for Product Led User Growth, and it's DevRev's in-house chatbot. So just to show you what Maple does, so I'm just going to ask a simple question. What is Maple, right? Let's give it a couple of seconds. Yeah, so you can see almost immediately the chatbot comes up with a response saying Maple is a powerful API payments platform that allows businesses to accept payments from customers online, etc., etc. So these are the things that you could do with Maple. You can even, ask the chatbot to kind of like shorten this, summarize this if you don't want to read a lot of content, right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in as Emma. Like I mentioned, I just want to go ahead and see what's happening. Why am I not able to process most of my transactions? So I'm logging in. And now I have logged in as an authenticated user. This is how my dashboard looks like. Under the available currencies, I'm able to see USD, I'm able to see Australian dollars, and I'm not able to see EUR anywhere, euros anywhere, which leads me to my first question thinking if Maple even supports euros or not, right? So again, the moment I log in, I can see an in-app chat widget over here, which is again our in-app plug. Now, this is a different, I mean, this is the same chatbot, just that it's for the authenticated users, for the bot to be able to consume information from the dashboard and give out answers. So I'll show you how. The moment I open this, you can see it's not just a chat widget. It also acts like a mini support portal, where you have the home page, where this is where you can add anything that is relevant to your organization. For example, if you have raised a new round of funding, that is something you can advertise here. Under the conversation sections, you'll be able to see the list of all the conversations that have taken place in the past. And perhaps, Plug is the only chatbot in the market which allows you to create tickets directly from the conversations itself. So I'll show you how that's done. And we also have the help center where you have all the knowledge base articles that are uploaded, right? So let me just go ahead and send a message. I'm just going to start with a simple hi just to be nice. So let's see what it does. Yeah, so the moment I say hi, you can see immediately DevRev Turing. Again, Turing is our in house AI application that we use to power, which makes our platform AI native, right? So you can see immediately there's a response which says, "Hello, Emma, welcome. I'm here to assist you with these sort of requests." So you can see understanding and resolving transaction issues, enabling managing currencies, etc., right? So my first question is going to be whether if it even supports the EUR currency or not, because only then my next question will be valid, right? So I'm going to ask, do you support EUR as one of the currencies, right? Let's see what it does. So you can see, yes, we do support euros as one of the currencies for transaction. If you need assistance enabling it or having any questions, feel free to let me know. So you can see almost immediately it's come up with a response that it supports EUR as one of its currencies. So now I'm going to ask, why did my most recent transaction in EUR fail? Yeah, so you can see the response is that your most recent EUR failed because the currency euros is not currently enabled on your account. Here are the details of the failed transaction. You can notice I did not even ask about the details. I just asked why did it fail, and the bot immediately came up with an answer. It's basically an AI agent, right? So the AI agent has come up with an answer saying that because it's not enabled into your account, that's why you're not able to process any of the transactions that are happening in euros. And it also asks you, would you like me to enable euro currency for your account? Let me know. So of course I'm going to say yes, right? So let's see what it does then. So you can see now again, the euro currency has been successfully enabled for your account. You can now proceed with transaction in euros. If you need further assistance, please feel free to ask. So now again, under the available currencies, you can see euro has been populated. So this typically takes about 24 to 48 hours with multiple back and forth, in any other organization. If you kind of notice this, right? It would take multiple escalations back and forth between the support agent, and this whole loop would take at least 48 hours to close, and the entire thing can be taken care of DevRev by within a couple of minutes or seconds rather, right? So you can see that the agent has basically gone ahead and acted on behalf of the support agent and immediately resolved. Not only did I figure out what the issue was, I immediately got a resolution as well, right? So take a pause here if there are any questions. All right, cool. Even if there are any questions, I think I'm not able to look at the chat option. So, Saneha, if you could let me know if you have any questions on the go, that'll be very helpful. I can take a pause and address them as well.
Yeah, the chat box has been enabled for everyone, so I think you must be able to see the questions, so no problem with that. But
Okay,
I'll let
okay,
you
okay.
ask them, no problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. Awesome. Awesome. So now going back to me being Emma, right? Now that my issue has been resolved, I'm kind of relieved. But now what I want to do is I want to get to the bottom of all the transaction failures that has happened in the past, right? So I'm going to ask, can you show me uh, all the failed transactions in the last month? Because now I'm just curious to see what's working, what's not working, what kind of actions that I need to take, and basically see the trend line of what's been happening with my account, right? So I'm asking the AI agent to provide me with the according information. So again, you can see almost immediately Turing has provided me a summary of all the failed transactions in the last 30 days. So you can see the transaction ID, the description, the amount, and you can also see the failure reason behind it. So you can see currency euro has not been enabled on the account. Transaction 2 says insufficient funds. Then you say card declined. Then again, one of the other reasons is currency you are not being enabled. again the same reason, and then insufficient funds. So you can see it has pretty much summarized the entire failed transactions for me in the last 30 days. So now I can follow up on these and try to get the business back, right? Try to get the money back. Now this is the experience that I really want from my AI agent, to be able to come up with responses. And moving forward, I want to be notified every time a transaction fails, right? So I'm going to ask the agent to let me know in case of any further failed transactions. The bot should be able to send me a message. So I'm going to say, can you notify me in case of any failed transactions in the future? Yeah, so you can see that very honestly, Turing has answered saying that currently we don't have a feature to proactively notify you about failed transactions. However, I can create a feature request for this on your behalf. Would you like me to proceed with creating a ticket for this request? Of course, yes. I'm going to say yes. So now you can see me being an end customer, how I was not just able to resolve my issue, I also got an idea of what's not really working out with my account, as well as me giving my feedback directly to the AI agent for it to be included in its roadmap, right? So the moment I say yes, you can see a feature request ticket has been successfully created for proactive notifications or failed transactions. Here are the details. You'll get a copy of this ticket in your email as well, because you're an authenticated user. The description of the ticket has also been mentioned here, and our team will review this request. And of course, I mean, I'm sure all of you know how the product team works. They all take features based on the priority of that particular feature, and then they go ahead and implement it. So now this ticket has been logged as a product request feature into a product roadmap, and accordingly, the team would prioritize this to ensure that this feature is rolled out in the near future, right? So this is the entire process of not just resolving a particular issue that an end customer faced, but also directly taking the product feedback and incorporating it into the roadmap, which I'll show you in a couple of minutes post this. But I'll again take a quick pause. Any feedback, any thoughts, any questions, I'll be very happy to take it up. All right. So in that case, I will go ahead and move into the agent side of things, right? Just give me a minute. Yeah. So are you able to see a different screen right now?
Yes, Sam.
Yeah. So you should be able to see a black screen with a code written on it, which is the only problem. Basically a code written by Franklin P. Jones. So this is how the agent experience looks like in DevRev. So any support agent or any product manager, any engineering support persona, whosoever logs in into our system will be able to see this. To show you what exactly happened on the website with the chat, this is the experience, what it would look like for an AI agent. You also have an in-app support center right within your DevRev instance as well. So our inbox is categorized into three parts. We have primary, guest, and spam. Primary is for the authenticated users, for example, Emma. So let me open this chat over here and show you how it works. So you can see this is the exact conversation that happened on the website, on my dashboard, is something that I'm viewing as an agent, right? And not just that, beyond this, I can see the additional attributes or more information that I need to see with respect to what's happening here, right? So I can see if the SLAs were breached and the resolution time it was close to breach, etc. One more very interesting functionality that we have is called as sessions. Now sessions are essentially tracking the entire user journey every time the user has logged in and basically led to the creation of a ticket or a chat. For example, I'm just going to play it at 8x speed because I was inactive for a long time. So this is exactly what I was doing in the portal once I logged in, and when I raised a particular query with the chat, this entire user experience that you can keep a track of within the software itself. And you can basically capture very important details. You can see the timeline and see when the website loaded, open chat widget, when there was a click, if there were any dead clicks or not. You can also get the other important information such as the browser details, operating system, when it was created, which account is it associated to, and not just that, you can also get further information about the API calls that were made. And I'm not an engineer, so I won't be able to make sense of most of the data over here, but You can see all the API calls that were made. To this extent, you can basically down and see what really went to the what really led to the creation of that particular ticket or the chat. So this reduces a lot of back and forth between the support agent and the end customer, because half the details, I would say rather 90% of the details are included in the specific format itself, right? So every time you log in as an authenticated user, since you have a specific domain associated, you will be able to see all the sessions that are included, right? So now I can, as a support agent, I'm viewing this chat, and now what I want to do is just for my own, tracking purposes, I want to convert this specific chat into a ticket. So all I have to do is click on this, and you can see this entire chat gets converted, the entire conversation gets converted into a ticket, right? So now I'm going to view this ticket, and you can see over here that this ticket has basically been created by itself, and I did not really have to input any information from the conversation to the ticket. So you can see side by side. So this is the conversation and this is the ticket. Right from the title of the ticket to the necessary attributes, right? The owner, stage, which part of the product it's associated with, which is the account. In fact, even the description of the ticket has been updated completely by itself, right? You did not see me type all of this anywhere. And you also will be able to see something called as Turing Assist. Now, Turing Assist is one of the most favorite parts of mine. So, what you could do with Turing Assist is the moment a ticket gets created, Turing will basically pull out tickets of the similar nature and populate it right in front of you. And not just ticket, it will also show up all the relevant articles that will help you to kind of go ahead and resolve that particular ticket. So let's say I'm a new joinee, and it's my day one as a support agent, and there have been 4 to 5 tickets that have been assigned to me, and I have no clue on how to resolve them, right? So what I can do is I can look at the similar tickets, try to see if there's a specific trend or the necessary steps that needs to be followed in order to resolve the ticket. I can go through the relevant articles. Basically everything is being spoon fed to me, right? Despite this, if this particular help doesn't work, what I can do is basically call anybody else from my organization to come and kind of help me with this ticket. So I'm going to call my colleague uh, to basically come and, so you see the internal discussions tab over here. This is, consider this to be a private Slack channel within the ticket itself. So no matter who you invoke from your organization to take a look into the specific ticket, they can come here, view, give their inputs, and leave. So for example, the moment I called Nicholas, who's my colleague, to kind of come and sort of help me here, you can see the workflow has immediately given out a reasoning with further context, right? So this ticket is classified as a feature request because user is asking for a new capability, etc. What are the key indicators that have led to the creation of this specific ticket, and for it to be tagged as a feature request? It also mentions the potential ambiguities. All of it is done just based on the context present in the ticket. It's completely automated. So this is like having a Slack channel right within the ticket. What you can also do is, this is one of my favorite features. So we also have an AI summarizer. So once you click on that, you'll be able to see the problem at hand, the discussions that have led to the creation of the ticket, and next steps and actionables, right? So all of it is completely automated over here. Nothing needs to be typed out. And customer messages is this one place where you can directly talk to the customer back and forth. This is like having a Slack channel with the customer itself, right? And one of my other favorite features is to start a huddle directly with the subscribers of the ticket. So, for example, since I called Nico to help me out over here, I can just directly start a conversation with him, just immediately bring him on a huddle to kind of brainstorm and make sure that this ticket gets resolved, right? So you can see now the conversations and tickets are kind of side by side. What's more interesting is that, for example, I want to create, now what I want to do is, let's say this is a ticket which is that of a bug request, and I'm not really sure how to, I'm an L1 support engineer and I don't have the technical expertise to work on bug related requests, because that is something that you have to go to the back end and you need to make the changes, right? So typically what happens is that the customer support ticketing solution, you create the ticket there, and then from there you copy all the details into your Jira or your linear ecosystem, and then try to map the relevant issue. You don't have to do any of that over here. All you got to do is click on plus link issues, you add a dependency, and while in the process you're able to again see that the AI is able to pull up issues of the similar nature. I'll, however, go and create a new issue over here. And while I create the new issue, again, you can see all the important and relevant information from the ticket gets transferred into the issue as well, right? So the description gets transferred completely. Apart from this, if there are any important details that you want to go ahead and input, you are very much free to do so. But I would say 80% of the job is done here, because most of the important details of the ticket has already been transferred, right? So now what you're seeing on the screen is something we call as convergence. So we have conversation, we have tickets, and we have issues all under one single pane of glass, right? This is what we call as convergence and, single source of truth in DevRev. Basically, what you're seeing right now is Intercom, Zendesk, and Jira in one screen. Just that you have these three different applications spread across different tabs on your screen. All of it is under one single tab over here, which makes it very easy for you to ensure that there's no data that's lost or there's no data that's deduplicated, right? So this is what we call as convergence. I'll again take a quick pause and just see if we have any questions. I think we have one. Right. So there's one that says, how does DevRev ensure data security during integration? Can clients maintain full ownership and control over their customer information without? Oh, yes, absolutely. That's a great question. So with regards to data security, right, we have different level of privileges within DevRev itself. So the admin will have the complete privilege of the platform, and he or she will be able to grant the according access based on the kind of ownership or the level of privilege that every agent would need, right? So you do not necessarily have to share your customer information externally. So I'll show you how. We have something called as the knowledge base in DevRev. Give me a second. Yeah, so you go to the knowledge base over here, and you can see these are all the articles that I have the Maple team has ingested into the DevRev app. So you can see that we have multiple options here, right? So you have customers, you have customer admins, pro, enterprise, verified customers. So you can basically choose who you want to make this visible to, and if you have different set of customers, you can privately make it visible for those customers alone. And you also have different statuses over here. You have published, you have draft, you have the other statuses that you can keep a tab of over here. So it's completely taken care of. So far we did not have any data security breach within DevRev, because your customer data is taken very seriously over here. I hope that answers your question. Okay, all right, moving on. Yeah. So what I want to show you, the next feature is the support platform overall, right? So you go to ticket section here in DevRev, so you'll be able to see the list of just a second, yeah. So you'll be able to see the list of all the tickets that have been created since the inception of this portal. I'll just remove the filter so that you're able to see all the tickets, right? So you can see 617 odd tickets that have been created, and all of it is populated under the ticket section over here. You can have multiple attributes. You have customer workspace, stage, owner, and you can customize this view completely. So if you want to see who the ticket was created by, you can add that field as well. If you want to see the created date, even that gets populated, etc. Very basic functionality. I think most of the applications in the market offer this, but what they don't offer is a very cool feature called as smart clustering, which is very unique to DevRev, right? So you see, just notice that we have 617 odd tickets here. The moment I enable smart cluster, you will be able to, the AI basically clusters all the 617 tickets into clusters of 93 groups. Now, clusters are groups of tickets of the similar nature that are populated together. So consider the use case where I am a support VP or a director of support, and I do not have the time to go through each and every ticket to see which is that one area from where most of our customers are reaching out to us, right? So if I want to understand what is the trend, what does the trend looks like, why are our customers, which area of the product is the are the customers making the most noise about, it's practically impossible for me to go ahead and go through all the 600 tickets. Instead of that, what I do is cluster all the tickets into groups and then see from which cluster we are facing the maximum number of tickets. So for example, in this case, I can see that payment and transaction discrepancies has 81 tickets under it. You have credit card management and payment option enhancement, 61 tickets. 81 is quite a high count, and real-time monitoring and testing enhancements, that just has 18 tickets, so we are good. So out of this, the maximum number of tickets is this under payment and transaction discrepancy. So now I will go ahead and see the deep down analysis of what is going behind the creation of these tickets, right? So the moment I click on the specific cluster, I can see that Turing, which is DevRev's in-house AI process, is automatically, you know, summarizing the entire content of those 81 tickets in one simple paragraph over here, and it's happening on the go, right? I did not have to really click on anything. I just clicked on the cluster and I can see out of the 81 tickets, 46 of them are enhancement count itself, and 25 of those tickets are feature requests, right? So this is the level of information that you can get from every cluster, and this is the description that you're seeing by Turing, right? So now this is this, you don't have to essentially apply hundreds of filters to get this view. It's just one toggle that you have to enable, and that's when the entire information is laid out in front of you. And from here, on a random basis, you can just go ahead and see what's happening with each and every ticket, right? So you can see the details. Again, you can see that Turing Assist suggests you similar tickets and relevant articles, and then you can also see an issue under it, right? So this probably it was a ticket that had to be transferred to the engineering team as well. So you can also see what the engineering team has been up to with respect to this specific issue, right? So all these details are something that you can keep a track of over here under one single pane, right? So this is a, like a high level overview of the support experience that I, could show. I'll just pause to see if there are any other questions. Okay, seems like we don't have. Ira, Amy, do you guys have any questions? Anything that you'd like me to cover?
Yeah, thanks so much, Shamita, for the demo. Super excited about all the functions that you guys have.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that you guys also have a function for like people who are still like designing the flow of like their software and their apps. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like for example, if I was like trying to like design a mock-up or MVP of my product, how would one
Mm-hmm.
go about that using the DevRev tool?
Yeah, so I was just getting to that. I'll quickly show that to you as well. I just covered the support portal side of things. I hope this was clear. So now going back to what Ira mentioned, so we have something called as Trails. Now Trails is a very unique capability of DevRev, which essentially breaks down your entire product into a hierarchical mind map, right? So our main product here is Maple software, which I was just demoing a little while ago, right? The main interface of Maple software. So the moment I click on Maple software, you'll be able to see that Maple software has been split up into its multiple capabilities. So all these capabilities make up the main product, which is Maple software. Now, what's more interesting is that from these capabilities, you can further drill it down into its relevant features. So you can see enterprise has, so mobile, rewards, pay, cards, all these features make up the capability enterprise, and enterprise makes up the product. Enterprise is a capability that makes up the product, Maple software. Then like this, you can just basically click on any part of the product and you'll be able to drill it down to the most minute level. So if I want to understand that, which customer of mine is using this specific feature, all I have to do is go ahead and click on this. And if I click on top customers, I'll be able to see the list of customers who are using this specific feature alone, right? And not just that, if I want to see what are the enhancements, like quick definition of enhancement is that any so we have two different ways of developing a product, right? One is through a feature request, and the other one is through an enhancement request. Feature request is introducing or implementing a new feature altogether, and enhancement is essentially making an existing feature better, right? So through the enhancement module, you'll be able to see that with regards to this specific feature alone, we have these are the enhancements that are being carried out. And you can even drill it down to the microservices that make up the specific feature, right? So that is the extent to which you can go ahead and break down your product. You can also see the top contributors in your organization who's behind building the specific feature. That is the kind of information that you'd get. This is like a single source of truth. No matter where you click, it will lead you back to the main product, which is MapleSoft. And not just this, for example, if I click on any specific feature, right? So if I click on bank transfer, if I want to see the top customers, I can go ahead and see that. right? So let's say I'm a product manager over here, and I have, so every product manager in an organization gets assigned to specific parts of the product, right? So imagine I am Priyanka Pal, who is taking care of the enterprise section of Maple Software. And if I want to know what are the customer tickets which have been raised very specific to enterprise feature alone, I need not go around and go to the ticketing section and play through filters and see what are the tickets that are relevant to enterprise. I can just click on view here. The moment I click on view here, I'm able to see that this is the capability enterprise, and these are the core features about the about the specific capability that is enterprise. So anybody who's new to the organization does not have to go back and forth to see what's happening, what is relevant with this feature. They can just go ahead, click on this, and they'll be able to get most of the information. Now, going back to me being a PM, I can see that there are 336 tickets associated with the capability enterprise alone. And I have the ticket statuses mentioned here as well. I have open, in progress, closed. So if I have to go and see what are the open tickets, if I have to click on any one of them to see the status, just to do a health check, I can see that this is one of the tickets, which is enhanced notification system for important updates. I can see whether the SLA timings were breached or not, etc., right? And yeah, so these are the attributes associated with that specific ticket as well. So no matter where you go, you will always find the product side of things being interconnected with the support side of things, right? Because it's all tied amongst each other, and this acts like the single source of truth, like I mentioned convergence before, right? So now we'll take another scenario here. Now I'm approaching Trails as a salesperson, and one of my customers is very interested to implement the enterprise feature. And okay, I'll show that in a bit, but I'll again take a quick pause to see if there are any questions. All right. Okay, cool. So, yeah, this is the trail section of DevRev. So I just want to show you how I basically wanted to, go ahead and cover the convergence segment once more. And not just that, you can also see the issues under it. You can see the top customers, like I mentioned before. You can just go ahead and see that over here. And you can also see 6 articles associated with the specific capability, which is enterprise. And you can also see the active sprint boards that are ongoing with the specific capability as well. So you have your customer tickets, you have your engineering issues, you have your roadmap, you have your sprint boards, you have the product release documents, all of it under one single umbrella, right? So this is where you can develop most of the product. And for anybody who feels that DevRev is a little too overwhelming just because they don't have an active customer support, it's not just customer support that we cater to. You can literally build out your entire product using Trails and define a structure to it, and basically see how the entire product really works in action from the customer feedback that you get directly, right? And just what I showed for tickets, we have the similar view for issues as well. So consider this to be like the Jira component of DevRev, right? So issue under the issues segment, you'll be able to see the list of all the issues that have been created since the inception of the portal. And similarly, just like tickets, you can also go ahead and smart cluster issues. So now imagine me to be engineering director. I want to see what are the main issues that the teams are currently working on. Once I smart cluster it, I'll be able to see that there are 12 clusters right now. So I can basically converge my work and focus on the more important tasks, right? And I don't have to go issue by issue to see which one needs immediate response. Rather, this view will be super helpful in those kind of scenarios, right? So again, it's the same thing that you saw during the ticketing section as well. You'll be able to see that out of 39 issues, there are 4 enhancements and there are 9 feature requests that have been raised, right? The description gets filled on the go as well. One more very interesting thing that we have introduced recently is the search agent. Now, search agent is based on the technology of incorporating a knowledge graph within our LLM models, which makes your day to day tasks super easy. So, just imagine me to be a very important stakeholder who's logged into DevRev, and I want to see what what was my most recent activity, right? So what I'm going to do is ask the search agent a specific question, that what are the tickets that I worked on in the last 90 days. So what happens in any other organization is that they have to apply that specific filter. You still can do that in DevRev. There's an option for that as well, right? But What you can do here with the search agent is that you can see almost immediately the search agent says that to find tickets you worked on in the last 30 days, I need your user ID or email address to identify your tickets. Could you please provide that information? All I have to do is tag myself over here. Let's see what it does. It takes a while because it goes through the entire content of all the tickets. From there it plucks out the tickets that it kind of maps. We have our own vector database through which it maps the relevant entities and brings out the result for you, something like this, right? So here are the tickets that you worked on in the last 20 days, and you can see that you have the ticket ID which you can directly open and access, and you have the description as well, right? So if there's something that you immediately want to access, you can just go ahead and you can click on this and you'll be able to see the ticket. Now you notice, right? I did not really have to go to the ticketing section to view all this. It's simply done through the search agent, which, basically makes your entire process much more efficient and simpler, right? So the vectors here capture the semantic and syntactic information about the keywords that you place, and upon that, it pulls in the right information and displays it in front of you. So I was doing some testing before this as well. So you can see that I was just testing if my colleague had, what are the issues that my colleague had worked on, right? So this is the prompt that I'd given out, and you can see that this is the information that was passed on to me, right? So it's as simple as just giving out. It's basically like, consider this to be like Chat GPT for a very solid support and an engineering use case, right? Now, what I want to show you is the product roadmap side of things. So, this is one of my favorite things to show whenever I get on demos, right? So, roadmap, I think it's the day to day task of a product manager. And for early stage companies, it's the day to day bird's eye view for, their founders as well. So, our roadmap, I mean, it's split into three different categories. You have now, next, and later. That's the name itself is very self-explanatory. So our roadmap contains enhancements, the feature requests that your team works on, product capability, etc. So we'll stick with the enhancement view. So what it essentially does is every enhancement that is being carried out gets tied to a monetary value as well. So for example, let's take enhancement 163. So you can see that is the core system enhancement. This is the owner of that specific enhancement. UX design is the stage at which it's currently present. These are the customers who are currently, who have specifically requested for these enhancements. And you can see the potential revenue would be this much if this enhancement has been deployed or rolled out, right? And you can see it has a very high customer impact. And these are the tickets which together collectively contributed to the creation of this enhancement. So let's take enhancement number 170. To translate this, basically, if instant payment splitting and group payments, if this enhancement is rolled out, then you'll be able to get so much in revenue. And this has a medium customer impact and three tickets associated with it, right? So you can tie your feature or any enhancement request to a monetary value as well to prioritize. So if your idea as an organization is to gain as much as revenue as possible in the starting few years, you can prioritize the features or the enhancements that your customers want. But let's say at DevRev, we operated a little differently. We took solid 3 years before even going generally available to the public, right? Because thanks, to our founders and to our investors who kind of like, gave us that cushion to make sure that our product was top notch. It was completely AI native. Only then we went generally available. I think we went generally available in towards later half of 2022, right? So it took us almost 2.5 years to completely build out the product. And there are new features that are being added every single day, right? So throughout the product roadmap, based on the priority, you can tie it to a monetary value, or from a product point of view, it's this one of the features that you absolutely want to have, you can place it in the relevant bucket, right? So that's something that you can do over here. Again, I'll take a quick pause just to see if you have any questions. Oh, I see there are many questions. I'm so sorry. I think I missed them out. My bad. Yeah. Um, so yeah, hi. Are all the users self-reporting? They use the selected feature, or it is an automatic process? Um, Not sure if I understood this question right. Okay, understood. So it's a combination of both, right? We have so for example, if a ticket that has been raised from a customer directly, the AI in DevRev will be able to understand that this ticket is relevant to that specific part of the product, and it will be automatically able to categorize it. But let's say there's a scenario where I am raising a ticket on behalf of the customer, and if I feel that the AI is not able to capture the relevant part of the product, that's when I can go and change it manually as well. So we give you both options in order to kind of go ahead and make sure that you have like a combination of human intervention and AI to be collectively, and for it to collectively work together, right? Okay. Can people in the idea stage be able to use the application efficiently? uh when you say idea stage, do you mean in the product roadmap? Mm, not. I just would need some elaboration on this particular question.
Um, I think I can expand on that. So,
Mm-hmm.
some people in our cohort are like ideating on like what features to build,
Right.
what users to build for. So kind of
Mm-hmm.
like in the like initial stages of like building out an MVP or prototype,
Mm-hmm.
like so basically the question is like how can people in that stage utilize your tool?
Mm-hmm. Understood, got it. Yes, so that's completely autonomous, right? So people, I mean, anybody, if you're a product persona, if you're a customer support rep, if you're a sales guy, any of them can use DevRev very efficiently, because the idea is to make your simplify your processes by 80%, like make sure that you save most of your time by letting AI do the most trivial tasks, and so that you can focus on the ones that are more complex, which actually needs human intervention. So that is something that we believe, a combination of AI, because to be very honest, I do not want AI to completely take over. All of our jobs will be at risk, so it should be a healthy mix of both, which essentially what DevRev does, right? Yeah. The next one is, how does DevRef take care of false positive responses? Any feedback loop in the system to take care of improvements? If so, how? Oh, I love this question. I'm so glad that you asked this. Right. So for that, you're absolutely right with respect to false positive responses. You cannot 100% depend on AI to come up with the right answers. Right. So what we do is, typically what we do is store all the information in our knowledge base. So all the knowledge base articles, these are ingested into the app, and based on that, the bot consume I mean the AI agent consumes the information and gives out a response. Now let's say if there's any question that is kind of out of syllabus, something that is not being fed over here, what you can do is go to Turing agent over here, sorry, go to Q&As over here. So here is the list of all the extra questions and the answers that are given out by human agents. So for example, if there's any question that Turing has responded incorrectly, the support agent or any admin of this particular platform can go ahead and log that as a separate question over here, give out the preferred answer, which is typically the right answer, and post it. Then this also becomes a part of the knowledge base for DevRefs Turing to be able to take information and answer accordingly. So, we take care of false positives completely by logging those specific scenarios as Q&As over here. And from all the answers that where Turing was incorrect or something that's out of the syllabus gets populated over here. We also give you the option to kind of control, take things under your control as well, which is why we have three different modes. So the first one is the suggest only mode, which typically, what happens is that Turing gives out an answer, but it doesn't send it to the customer directly. It just suggests, so you can go ahead, verify the answer, then you can click on hit, and that's when the answer goes to the customer. Then the content powered agent is it's quite an autonomous process where you're giving full control to the AI agent to be able to go and answer the questions. But you have both these options as well, right? And goal oriented agent is essentially when the agent performs actions automatically based on the goal set by you. So every AI agent is fed a certain level of skills, which again happens in our workflow builder. So you can see we have created multiple workflows over here through which the AI agent is able to perform the actions introduction. So if you guys could recall, I showed the demo where the AI agent was able to go in the backend and enable that specific currency for you, and it was able to kind of like perform that action on your behalf. So you can see this is how the workflow gets created. You can create multiple workflows. For example, a ticket gets created, you automatically add a comment that, hey, we will get back to you in so and so time, etc. Right? So you have multiple workflows that have been created over here. I hope that answers your question. Yeah. So, how is potential revenue calculated, and how does AI validate the potential revenue after the features actually rolled out? Okay, I'll take probably club these two questions together to answer. So, going back to the roadmap section, right? How it typically works is, so you can see that this is the potential revenue that has been mentioned here, and under this you can see 47 opportunities. Now, opportunities in simple language is the deals. They are the deals basically that the company is working on. So for example, I'm a B2B business, I have company ABC XYZ who are evaluating my platform, or they are already my customers, right? So I log them as opportunities. So these are the deals that are attributed, which, and every deal has a certain revenue that comes along with it. So for example, our support pricing is at $60 per agent, right? So a customer comes and tells me that, hey, if you roll out this specific feature, then I will be ready to pay you $40 extra. And like these multiple customers have a common set of asks, right? So the difference in the, I mean, how much ever it would take to cost for that upsell or the cross sell of that specific feature into the number of opportunities will give you the potential revenue. So this might not, this is the best case scenario figure. For example, if all the 47 opportunities go ahead with this specific enhancement, so most of them kind of back out as well, right? After the specific enhancements rolled out, many people have the tendency to say that, oh, this would have been a good to have feature, but I'm not ready to really purchase, right? So in those kind of scenarios, you exclude that and you calculate the potential revenue based on the number of people who have upselled or upgraded the platform, who are paying you extra for that specific feature, right? And if they are interested in any, so for example, if a customer is currently using the support side of DevRev, and then they want to kind of leave Jira and use DevRev for the Jira use case, even that gets calculated as an upsell. So all that gets accumulated in the potential revenue that can be that's how the potential revenue is calculated basically. um Hope I was able to answer that question. Right. Okay. So since we have few more minutes left, I just quickly want to walk over the integration side of things, right? So this is very important because we do say that we can replace Jira, Zendesk, Intercom, all of it, but we do also do understand that there are a lot of startups, there are a lot of companies who are currently using Jira, and some of them get really comfortable using Jira, right? So it's, in those cases, what we do is we also give you the option to coexist with these applications so that you completely do not have to move out. Although to be very honest, I would really prefer if you would use just one platform, because that's the main value proposition of DevRev, right? So you go to Snapins over here and you can see the list of all the external apps that we connect with. So for example, if you want to transfer all your data from Zendesk into DevRev, that can, so you can migrate up to you can migrate up to millions of tickets from Zendesk into DevRev in a matter of few hours. What takes essentially weeks to happen in that specific organization just takes a couple of hours to happen through DevRev, because we have our own patented technology called as AirDrop, through which you can migrate all the ticket information, all the contact information from any other external app into DevRev. So similarly, we have integrations with Jira, Salesforce, Slack. Slack is something that we use on a day-to-day basis. We have multiple customer channels with Slack as well. So it's a two-way sync that we have with Slack. So any sort of ticket that you raise via DevRev also gets updated in Slack. And we have our own AI agents over here, and you can see this is all the engineering collaboration apps that we have. GitHub is something that is one of the most common asks from most of the companies, right? Because you want to be able to integrate GitHub with DevRev, see which part of the code is currently going wrong. So DevRev can even point you to that specific part of the code which needs a fix, right? And we have integrations with, so these are the channels. We have integration with Twilio, WhatsApp, etc. So very flexible in terms of coexisting with other apps as well, right? And like I mentioned, AirDrop is the patented technology of DevRev. So you can transfer all your information and establish a two-way sync from all these apps within DevRev, just to show you what all we offer. So it's WhatsApp, we have email service, we have Google Calendar, etc. Right? I hope this is not a lot of information to consume. Are there any other questions? Okay. All right. So this kind of brings me towards the end of the demo that I have. I would have covered almost the entire platform. Apart from this, we have a few things like session replays. I'm sorry, I know we are going over time, but just that I get very excited to show the entire feature because there are so many things, right? So under session replays, you'll be able to see the list of all the customer sessions that have taken place. So if there's anything that you want to troubleshoot, you can just play the session. This is something that we have from our mobile app as well. You can track the entire session of what has gone down, between what went wrong, or where, if there was an app launch failure, if there's any specific part of your app, or if there's any specific part of your website that's not currently working. So all that can be kept, is basically populated here, right?
This is awesome. Thanks, Samita. Also wanted to mention that for anyone that wants to like try DevRev, we have a DevRev hub in our Hatch resources page. So if you have any questions, we have like points of contact in the Hatch hub. And yeah, thanks so much, Grace and DevRev, for hosting this workshop with us.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
thanks
everyone.
for spending some time to go through the product. Learned a lot. So yeah, excited to have DevRev as a partner.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining as well.
Thank you, everyone.
Awesome.
Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.
Have a great
Bye,
day.
guys.
Bye.